Hi guys, I watched a few videos trying to figure out how to take off my my fork. The seals I think was leaking from here, so I decided to go ahead and tackle the job myself. I started by taking off the fender, then I took off the calipers, took off the wheel, then I loosen up two nuts right down there. It's hard to see, it's dark. There are two nuts here that hold the fork. I loosen those up, then I come up here. Now, here it was hard for me to reach this spot right here. Let me see if I can show it to you guys. This one here. Actually, I had to use 24 sockets, and I keep this one here tight, this nut, until I loosen it up. It was very hard to reach it, so I ended up using the number 6 on a wrench, and I took off the steering wheel handle, So just to show you what I did, it's loose now. I loosened it up a little bit before I start this. Once I took off the handle completely, I put it aside, and then I used the 24 sockets. 24 sockets, and I broke loose the top. Let's see if we can show you. Oh, this is the one I used. It says right there 24 millimeter. Okay, so once I got that loose, now I'm gonna go ahead and go the other side. Once I get this part loose here, this one loose, the bottom here loose, I'll go ahead and loosen up this nut bolt here, the one that's holding the fork. Right, I'll get back in a second. Hey guys, definitely need two hands, but I got it out. Here it is coming out, and there it is. All right, again, this is have a leak here. It's a Concours, Kawasaki Concours 1400 2013. I had a leak in the seal here. I called the dealer, and they quoted me $465. And I decided to go ahead and tackle this job myself. I asked for the part, and I was told it's about $105 altogether, include the oil. So it include the seal, both seals for both sides. I'm gonna go ahead by the wire and do both of them. The other one is not leaking, but I advise to do them both at the same time. I'm working on it anyway. So hope this helps. I'm gonna keep going, and I try to record them as much as I can. Okay guys, very quick. The fork is out. I just put it in the vise. Before I start taking it apart, here are some of the tools you're gonna need. Small screwdriver to move the dust cap here, for the dust seal. Then you're gonna need a bigger screwdriver to move the seal, which is inside right about here. Adjustable wrench, number 24. You can have a socket or a wrench, because it's what we're gonna use here to take the cap off. A second, okay. Syringe, 14 millimeter, 17 millimeter, caliper. This 14 millimeter here, I use it. I put a paper towel around it, and I put a tape, because this is what's gonna go on the bottom here of the axle when I attach my ratchet here to it to compress the spring. You're gonna use a seal. Here is the part number and the dust seal, oil, graduated cylinder if you have one, special tools. I made this tool here, and basically it's used for to grab into the piston rod. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use to attach to the piston rod and pull it up. It's the bolt itself, it's half inch, and but the nut is 10 by 1.0 millimeter, because this one actually it fits very good on the piston rod. I don't care about this side because I couldn't find a bolt that fit in it, but it's holding now fine. But this side you need to make sure to get the right measurements. If not, you're gonna mess up the thread in the piston rod. Okay, so 10 by 1.0 is the nut you need. Okay, now once you pull that piston rod up using a special, or using your hand actually, so you can slide a special tool to hold the piston rod. I used the 12 millimeter to the old one, and as you can see I notched it far enough to go there, but it's not really a good one. I need something even deeper. I found this brackets in my garage. Don't know what it is, but it has a hole, only hole right here. So what I used the grinder and I opened it up, and it worked perfect. So I slide it in, it works. With the seal driver, I had 3 or 4 of them. I start with the biggest one, and as I go deep, you see how there's a cone, I change. So this is the last one that I used, was number 59. I think started with 63, 61, then 59. Now, this one, this is a tool homemade. I saw a guy on YouTube who used the same thing, so I basically copied it. I used 2.5 coupler, 1.5 bolts and nuts inside and out, and basically I'll show you what I'm going to use it for. Oh, here's the oil I used that was recommended by Kawasaki, and let's go. I'm gonna first, I guys definitely need 2 hands, but I got it out. Here it is coming out, and there it is. All right, again, this is have a leak here. It's a Concours, Kawasaki Concours 1400 2013. I had a leak in the seal here. I called the dealer and they quoted me $465, and I decided to go ahead and tackle this job myself. I asked for the part, and I was told it's about $105 altogether, include the oil. So it include the seal, both seals for both sides. I'm gonna go ahead by the wiring and do both of them. The other one is not leaking, but I advise to do them both at the same time. I'm working on it anyway. So hope this helps. I'm gonna keep going and I try to record and as much as I can. Turn in this, and it's coming loose. You can turn actually either the top or the bottom, so I just hold on to the top and turn the bottom, and here you go. That's it, it's coming off, and there's no pressure so far. There you go. Now I don't have the special tools. I saw someone on YouTube that's made a tool that fits. Let's see if you can turn this here. Fits in this hole and this hole, and supposedly you're supposed to press down and so you can reach a bolt. I'm gonna end up making that tool myself, but for now, here is where I am so far. Okay guys, I just installed the tool here, homemade tool, so I can compress the spring using the ratchet straps right there, so I can expose the piston rod nut. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and slide my homemade tool to hold it in place. Guys, I was able to go ahead and strap this down, depress it, and this is how far I went down. If you can see, the bottom was close to the outer pipe, and then I was able to push my foot down there, hold it and pull up, and then I squeezed I believe it's 12mm wrench under the bolt because I didn't have the right tool. And now I'm counting how many threads. It looks like it's three threads. You need to keep track of this number of threads where this bolt was, this nut was. Now I'm gonna hold it here with the number 14mm, I believe, and then I will take the top, this one, this part here. So I will hold this one down, I will hold it and unscrew this. Alright, I'll be back. Okay guys, I compressed the spring using the ratchet. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up here with my hand, pull up as high as I can, and then squeeze in that tool under the piston nut. Right? Okay, I was able to lift it up with one hand and then slide in the homemade tool. You know what I mean right here, you can see it's under the rod nut. Anyway, you could use this 12mm I used, it fits right there good, but it does not cover all the way. It can easily slide back, so it's up to you. I would not recommend using it because it will slide back, but you have to pull it again. It's better if you have someone else with you to help you. Maybe you can align it better. Right, I'm gonna unscrew the head here. This is a 14mm. I'm gonna hold the nut there, and I'm gonna unscrew the top using an adjustable wrench, or I think you can use, let's see, number 17mm. Okay, the cup is out. We unscrewed it, set it here. Now I'm gonna reach here and get the dumper rod out. Gee, just pull it straight, it's not into it actually. Like so. Here it is. I know there is no up or bottom in this, but I always like to label the top. So that's gonna be my top, I'm gonna label it. Come back here, and I'm gonna use my homemade tool. Okay, this is the one I made earlier. I'm gonna unscrew it here, pull on this, and take the tool out. Once I do that, I will release the pressure from the spring by taking off unhooking the. Anyway, guys, I took off the cap. As you can see here, I pull the dumpling rod that was here, was inside here, so I pulled it out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and screw my homemade tool. And I'm gonna lift from here and take off the tool, then take off everything and take off the tool I used to compress the spring. Okay? Alright, be back. Hey guys, I'm measuring this nut here. Well, I was told that you gotta make sure that you measure it and put it back where it was. It looks like it's 29.34. Slide in. It's just hard to do everything with one hand and film at the same time. Anyway, 29, 23 actually, from the top to the edge of the nut. Okay, we'll make note of it. We'll make note of it then. Okay, now I was told I need to take off this rebound pipe. Coming off. There we go. It's about probably 1.5 feet. That's basically it. I'm gonna mark it actually. Both sides don't look the same, but I'm gonna mark it and make sure this is the top side. I just unhooked or released the pressure, and I'm gonna take off my tool with this piece here together. As you can see, guys, just to give you an idea how far that the bolt that came in from the homemade tool, this is how far it went inside. It's about maybe 1 millimeter or even maybe 2 at the most. Okay, I just took that piece right there. It's attached, still attached to my homemade tool. What you are looking at now is the spring. I'm gonna mark which side is up. Hey guys, just wanna share something with you. When it comes to the spring for the fork, Kawasaki Concours, here's what they are calling for. The spring need to be a standard at 244 millimeter or 9.61 inch, or the minimum 239. So I just measured mine using millimeter, and you have to measure like from this corner here, from the lowest corner, and you go straight to, not to the lower down here, you go to this one, to the thicker part. That's what it looks like here. Okay, so I measured it and it was right at 244 millimeter. Right? Okay guys, I removed the straps, and right there, it's called that the collar. That's what's set on the top of the spring, and they compress it. And here is the washer that goes with it. Okay? Now the next step is to take the spring out. Set it here, like so. Again, it's a habit. I always label the top. So this is the top, this is the top for the rod, this is the top for the spring. It doesn't say anything about the rod, which way it goes, but the spring, they say make sure that's the part. Okay, it's hard to show it in the video. Anyway, make sure to label the top so you can put it back the same way. Now I'm gonna pump more oil over here, pump this while I lay it here. It gets more oil out. I usually leave it angled this way. I leave it overnight. I'm in no hurry, I can finish tomorrow. Okay guys, this is the outer tube, and I want to show you, this is the seal that I'll be changing. There's a clip that it's holding it right here inside the grooves of the outer tube. So you want to use screwdriver and start here at this end and pop, and will come out right off. Also make note of the seal, which direction is up. Okay, it looks like there are 2 dots apart, and those are the one going to be up. And also I saw another video where they said make sure the cone is up and the writing is up. But for now, I know which direction. I'm just gonna make note of it, okay? All right, go work on this and I'll let you know. It's off. Next, I'm gonna use a screwdriver, flat screwdriver, and I'm gonna go here between the seal and the washer and work my way around and take this seal off, okay? Okay guys, here's what I did. I went ahead and with the whole fork with the fan, took all the fork out on the table. And this is spring I took off earlier and we marked it. It's a dust cover. I'm gonna take it off so I can take this sleeve, the outer sleeve out. Okay? Alright, let's do that. Okay guys, I took off the outer tube. You just slide it with your hand. It comes out very easily. And now I'm gonna go ahead, set this aside, the inner tube, and I'm gonna come back here and start working on my seal. Alright? Okay guys, I got this off. As you can see, here's the top parts, and you can see there are those knots and some writing. So this is how it's gonna go back. The new one will go back this way. And also when you put the new one, make sure not to lose this. There's a couple of springs, one here on the top and one on the bottom. So make sure not to lose them, okay? All right, there's a washer here. Show you. Right there. It's up to you. You can take it out. I'm gonna take it out and clean up under it and around it, and then put new seal, clip, and we're good to go. This is the new seal. Just set it there. I'm gonna start. Of course, I put the washer first. Okay. If you take off the washer, you need to make sure to put it back. The washer is right there. Okay. Now this will go this way. Okay, the writing is on the top, and I'm gonna use the seal driver. I'm starting with the number 65, and then I will move as it goes far, because this one is bigger, but it fits right in the edge, as you can see. But as I go forward, because it's shaped like a cone, it's gonna start touching here. We don't want that. So I'm gonna use this a little bit, then I will move to number 63. Okay. Then the last one is number 59. Now, however, if you have a socket that will fit directly on it, you don't need to do all of this. I don't have a socket to use it, but I do have a seal driver, so I'm using it. If you have a socket, you can just drive it, put it on the top and go slowly. I put a little bit of oil around the seal, so hopefully it will go in easily. I'll be back. I drove the seal down until right there. You can see the groove. That's where the clip will go. If you try to put the clip and it does not go in all around, that means only one thing, the seal is not seated. You need to drive it a little bit farther. But you don't want to go too far, don't want to damage it. It did go easy, to tell you the truth, so hopefully it will go easy for you. Now I'm going to set the clip. And it should pop right in on your hand, like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this, the dirt seal. Alright, it's going to go here in the inner tube. This direction, the cone is down. So later on, this will go back to the other tube. So I did put a plastic here This is trick I saw earlier online. So the edge here of the inner tube is a little sharp. By putting a plastic, it can go easily without hurting the dirt cap or seal. Okay, here's how it goes. There we go, done. I slide it, so then I will take the plastic out. Right. Okay guys, I put the dust seal right there first. Then I'm gonna put the other tube and let it slide in. You may hear something that's holding it, you just have to work your way around it. There we go. It's coming down right there. Okay. If you press all the way in, it will sit in the seal. So that's got right there. Okay. Now it's time to fill up with oil. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put 526 milliliters with no spring in, and this all the way in. Okay. I poured half of the oil in, and now I'm gonna go ahead and pump about 10 times, all the way up and all the way down. That's one. And that's two. And I will keep doing this 10 times. Then we'll add again the rest of the oil and pump another 10 times. Then I will check the level. Okay guys, I put about 525 milliliters of oil. I pumped this 10 times. I put like basically half, then pumped it 10 times, and then when I finished the other half, I pumped it another 10 times. Anyway, I set up my caliper to about 101, as you can see, 101.14. And the book, it says between 1 and 1, give or take 2 millimeters, I'm sorry. So let's stop my gauge here and check the level. You want to set it here on the top of the inside, the inner tube, not the outside, the inner tube right there. And you're going to take it out straight, and you want to see a little bit of oil in the tip right there. See it? That's it. Okay. Now, when I did this, I found out that it was a little bit higher than it needed. So, how this pipette here, put this back here, and I used it to take little by little. Okay guys, two things I need to bring to your attention here. I did label the upper part of the spring, the Scotch shape, as you can see. That means it's going to go like this. And I was looking for a difference, to see what difference between the top and the bottom. I couldn't really tell, especially in the video, but I did notice something here. If you see here, the top of this end, it's got like more of a straight. This one was on the top, okay? Facing up. And this side here is more, see this cut here? It's more of an angle. So this was on the bottom. So angle on the bottom, more straight cuts on the top, okay? So this hopefully will help you in case you take off the spring and you don't remember which part it is. But I always label the parts, upper part always, so I won't get confused. The oil level is fine, everything is good. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the spring slowly because you don't want to splash the oil, and then compress the spring, and we'll go from there. Here's in. Next time I'm gonna go ahead and compress the spring, and we need to do more adjustment later on. I'll show you. The collar, which is this white tube, small one inside. You see how much I trade in the half inch? That's I used the grinder and I made it like a cone shape, and I screw it in. It's not much. You have maybe 1.5 millimeters sticking out. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it up here like so, right there, and we'll go inside the spring, and I will compress it. Guys, I was able to compress the spring, and once I have done that, it's still under the pressure of the straps. I pulled on this tool that I made up, then I slide in my tool under the rod nut. Now I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this. Okay, so get this side, and there is some adjustment we need to do from the top here to the top of this nut here. We need to adjust it to 12 millimeter. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and adjust it, and we'll continue. 12.05, that's very close. So it's hard to get it to 12 exactly with this one. So that's right there, as you can see, from the top of the rod to the top of the nut, 12 millimeter. Okay, now one thing is very important, if you don't do it now, chances you're gonna forget, okay, is to put the rod back. The dampening rod need to go back now. If you don't, and you start focusing on adjustment, the other things, you're gonna forget. So let's do it now. There it is. This thing up. And there it goes. Okay, it is. Okay, now we're gonna do some adjustment to the cup. Okay, the top cup we had earlier, there's a nut here inside. You see it? There's a flat screwdriver in it. You need to measure from the from the outside to the inside, not to the groove, to the top of the screw, not the groove. Okay? 13 millimeter. I'll show you. All right, guys, I was able to set it up to 13.01. It's 13 millimeter. Okay, like I said, from the top of that nut, not in the groove, the top surface, not the groove, to the top here of the top cup. Okay, let me see if I can hold the camera and show you how I did it. Let's see, here we go. Just like this. Okay. There we go. And it's 13 millimeter right there. Right? Move on to the next. Now I'm gonna go ahead and screw this top inside here. Just using my hand, and once you get there, and we'll snug them against each other. So not too tight, just first with hand, and then once I get down there, I will use 14 millimeter to hold the bottom nuts, and I use 17 millimeter to turn the cup. Okay. All right. Alright guys, like I said, just hand tight for now, and then I'm going to use my 14 and 17 millimeter wrenches and tight it just a little bit, so they can, not too much, not just too much, just a little. Okay guys, I used the 14 millimeter to hold the preload spring nuts, and I turned the cap using number 17. You turn until it stops, and that's it. Don't over tight it. That, like I said, right there, and that's good enough. We're gonna do more adjustment once it's in the motorcycle. Now it's time to raise this cap with hand again. I will pull it up using my hand and take off the tool. Then release the ratchet here, the straps, and we'll go from there. Okay, next thing I want to do is make sure to inspect this O-ring here, make sure it's good, no damages or anything. Then you're gonna go ahead and bring the outer tube up and put it on. Okay, now at a certain time you're gonna go ahead and just snag it a little bit, not too much, and because we're gonna go ahead and do the we're gonna torque it in the motorcycle. Once we set it in the motorcycle, we're gonna go ahead and torque it to specification. For now, we're just gonna snag it in. I'm gonna have to use the tool. Guys, it's snagged there, so once I put it again on the motorcycle, I'm gonna torque it, and I'll have to seal out just to preload and the damping. So we'll continue. Hey guys, I just finished sliding both forks, and I finished them right there. So I slide them in, and there are a couple of things that I need to point out that are very important, which is here. As you can see here, you want to make sure that the outer tube is flush. It's flush with the stem head bracket. Okay, this to be flush. What you see here is the cup, the top of the cup. Okay, so the outer tube needs to be flush on both sides. As you can see here, see, you'll see what I mean once before even you take over your motorcycle. Take a look, and you'll see what I mean. Once you do that, okay, you come down here very quick, and you see that bolt over there. There are two of them. There's another one above it. Those are 10 millimeter. You want to start to tighten those little by little. You do one little, the other one, and you alternate. And once you're done, you're gonna torque them to 22 foot. You come up here. Of course, this handle is not here yet because now I finished. That's why you see it. It's like this one. See, this one's still loose. So because I didn't finish it. You come up here and you're gonna use the 24 millimeter, and you're gonna torque this one here to 16 foot-pound. Okay, you torque it before you tighten this nut. Once you torque this to 16 foot-pound, you come here and you torque this one, this clamp bolt here to 15. This one is 15 foot-pound, and you're done. You do the same thing to the other one. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together. It means I put the wheels, calipers, and the fender, and it should be done. Okay guys, next thing I did is adjusted the preload. It's from the top of the preload nut to the top of the cap bolt nut should be 15 millimeters. Okay, right there. Then once you do that, you go ahead and you're just gonna adjust the rebound damping, which is this screw here. You're gonna use the Phillips screwdriver. You're gonna turn it clockwise all the way in, and then once you stop, you're gonna go back 5 clicks. Okay, so let's see if I can demonstrate for you guys. Let's see if we can use both hand and do it. I already did it, but I'm gonna do it again so you know what I'm talking about. Remove the flashlight, get you some light here. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, can't go no more. Okay, now we're gonna go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, supposedly this is the standard setting for an average rider. It's about 68 kilogram, 150 pounds. I'm way heavier than that. So as I ride, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it to my liking, and I'm sure you'll do the same thing. We are done with this part here. I'll go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. As you can see, I installed the wheel, and you want to start by if you have some high temperature grease, you want to put it before you put the wheel. Actually, there is a collar here like a washer, and it has one flat side and the other one is like shaped in a cone, and that cone goes toward the seal. If you have some high temperature grease, make sure to put some there and some on this side too. Okay, once you do that, the corners are the same. You're gonna go ahead and insert the axle. This is the axle. This is just so I'm confused. Let me explain. The axle from the right side, and it will go all the way until you reach here. This is the nut, and you're gonna start with hand. Okay, use your 13/16. It fits right there, and you turn with hand until you feel like it's threaded in the nut. Once you do that, you want to torque. That's why you see that torque wrench there. I'm gonna go ahead and use this side here to hold the axle, and I'm gonna tighten from the side here, the left side. Once I'm done with that, so and the torque actually here it's 94 foot-pound. Once I'm done, I'm gonna go up. I put a block of wood here in front of the wheel. I'm gonna lower the motorcycle all the way down. I'm gonna push about 4 or 5 times on the right side, so of the motorcycle. I need to make sure that the right front fork leg is set on the front axle. Okay, so you do that, and I want 4 or 5 times. Then you come here, and you want to start with the right side first. You're gonna torque there, so you alternate as you torque, a little bit here, but you need to torque it to 15 foot-pound each, and then you will do these two here. These are the last ones. Okay. Next, I will do the calipers, then the fender, and I should be done. Finish torquing the nut here to 94 foot-pound, and the clamps here, the bolt clamp, that clamp here, the fork to the axle, are still loose, so as the one on the left. But we're gonna start with the right ones. I'm gonna tighten this to 15 pound. But before, like I mentioned earlier, you need to pump this down, this right one, the right fork, 4 to 5 times. 5 times, and it was easier. I have the phone in my hand. I can't do it, but I use both hands and I push down because it's blocked here with a piece of wood, as you can see. So I blocked it and I pulled down 5 times, and now I'm gonna tighten this two here first, the right side, and then this two. Okay, I installed the calipers, and you want to torque those the bolt that hold the calipers. There's one here, this one here, and there's one up here. Okay, those are the 25 foot-pound. And the other things I'm gonna do next is to install the front caliper, and I'm gonna pump the brakes, make sure they are working, and I'm gonna take it for a test drive. Again, guys, I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm just a YouTuber who likes to fix things and work on things, and I know my limits. There's another way. If you can do this, it takes a little bit of time, and you have to pay attention to the details. Go ahead and do it. If you have a doubt in your mind and you don't think you can do it, take it to a professional who can do it for you. The other thing that it may save you some money, if you are able to take just the forks off the motorcycle, at least that's what the dealer here told me. in my hometown. He said if you take them off and bring them to his shop, he will fix them for me, put them together, and we'll save about $200 from the price. I think he quoted me about 465, something like that. But he said if you bring them, we'll save you $200. So that's another option to look into if you think you can tackle it. All right, good luck to you. If you like, give it thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Hi guys, I just wanted to know what I did after I finished both forks. I went ahead and put a strap against the dust cover here, or dust seal, and I rode the motorcycle for about 100 miles, and I did measure from this part here to here 20 millimeters. Okay, as you can see, it drops and it's close. It shouldn't be here, it should be at least 10 15 millimeters, should be right about here at the least. So that means only one thing. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the preload and the damping. So since it seems like it's softer, I'm gonna make it harder. So that means I'm gonna have to turn it clockwise. I'll show you the other side too. Here it is, as you can see. All right, so I will make it a little harder, one turn or so, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this strap back again and see.